This is my 2024 Survivor Guide, and it is inspired by Pastor Stephen Darby, rest his soul. They recently released a message of his from 12 years ago, and I was listening to it, and I jotted down everything he said. It cut off before it finished the last two, and so I just used my discernment and wrote down the last two. And so the reason why I even decided to write this down is because I have been feeling like there is definitely something that we need to be getting prepared for the years to come, especially 2024. Number one is submission to God's will and ways. Psalm 23, verse 1. Psalm 23, verse 1 says that the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And number two comes from this verse as well. It says godliness with contentment. So being submitted to God's will and his ways, and being so submitted to his will and his ways that I'm content with what it is that he has for me. I am content with where I am, and content with what I have. Number 3 and 4 come from verse 2. He leadeth me to lay down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Resting in God is number 3. And number 4 is walking in the peace of God. Number 5 comes from verse 3, which is to control my emotions, to renew my mind, and yield my will. And that's how I will be able to control my emotions, by renewing my mind through the word of God, right? And yielding my will to the Lord. He leadeth me down paths of righteousness for his name's sake. That's where number 6 comes from as well. Only take ordered steps. He leadeth me down paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I will fear no evil. So that is where these are inspired from, actually, numbers 5 through 7. Number 7 is I will be free from fear. Allowing the Lord to guide and lead my steps. Only taking ordered steps. So not allowing anything or anybody to deter me to do something else. I am done with doing what I see other people doing, or constantly feeling like I'm being pulled here and there because I'm listening to all of these different voices. And this is why I say it is so important to disconnect from all of these prophetic voices, because one, everybody is not even speaking by the Spirit of the Lord, but people are speaking from vain imaginations of their own hearts. A lot of people have selfish ambitions. A lot of people want their names to be made great, and so they are relying on their ability to speak eloquently, or their ability to tap into the prophetic. Some even doing it so much so that some people are operating from a familiar spirit, or a spirit of divination, and not even the Lord's spirit, because they're so desperate to give a message. And this is why it is very, very, very important that you have a established relationship with the Lord. And so those are number 5 through 7. Control my emotions. And how do you do that? Through the renewing of your mind and yielding your will. Number 6, only take ordered steps. And number 7, I will be free from fear. No matter what is going on in the world, not allowing fear to cripple me, not allowing what my eyes are seeing and beholding to cripple me. And also remembering that in Psalm 91 it says that you will only see with your eyes the recompense of the wicked. And so do not fear, because the Lord has sent his angels before us. And this is why it's very important for you to be submitted to his will, and not living back and forth between the world and between the kingdom. Choose ye this day who you are going to serve. Are you going to serve Satan, or are you going to serve the Lord? Because what you yield yourself to is what you serve. And that is how we worship in spirit and in truth. Number 8, walk in awareness of God. And this is inspired by Psalm 23, verse 4. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Walking in awareness of God knowing that he is with me, knowing that he's there. It's very important to walk in that awareness of God, no matter what's going on. Number 9, allow God to be my security and my comforter. Verse 4 goes on to say, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Allowing him to be my provider, my protector, and my comforter, my defender. Number 10, let God be my provider. Psalm 23 verse 5, I have prepared a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Allowing him to provide for me what I need. And this is in the presence of enemies, so there's also this level of protection that if he's preparing a table before me, even in the presence of my enemies, if I were going to be devoured by them, then there would be no need to set the table, right? Even if physical death is upon me, I have an eternal home to go to. So allowing him to be my provider, again, not being afraid, even not of death. Number 12, walk in assurance that God's mercy and goodness follows me. Surely God's goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Walking in assurance that God's mercy and his goodness follows me, no matter where I am, no matter what's going on. Knowing who it is that goes before me and behind me, the one who guides me, leads my footsteps, and keeps his hand out over me, right? That is the 2024 survival guide. And as we can see, it's all spiritual things because we are in a spiritual battle. And so, know who you serve, and also make a decision on who you're going to serve. It's time to separate ourselves from the things of this world, from the love of this world, because this world is not going to be what we see it as today. Eventually, this reality will be no more. So it's time to fall out of love with it now. And be ready, for the king is on his way back.